want to ask you, because my engineer peeped it when I walked in. When I walked in, and I was telling everybody, and I was like, yo, I bet he has a different version of Tupac.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I love is people that met Pac prior to him going to death row. Because I know Gemini's.
Yeah.
What the?
Jesus, relax. But I know Gemini. What I'm trying to say is, like, it's two different people, right? But you, what I like to say, probably know the original version of Pac.
I knew Pac as a member of Digital.
Right.
Okay, and if you don't mind, I'm gonna take you on a little trip.
We got off boarding pass. Yeah. Let's go.
This goes to one of the main reasons I don't drink today.
Okay.
When I was a kid, 11, 12 years old, I had a liver disorder, went into the hospital, lost a bunch of weight. They told me not to drink in my teens.
Right.
So by the time I was able to drink in my early 20s, I drank a little bit, didn't like the feeling of not being in control of my body and just where my mind was, so I stayed away from it. So years went by, and normally, if I was in a situation and I was offered a drink, I just wouldn't take it. Then one time I was in a circle where I just couldn't turn it down. Bottle was being passed. And I think this is the only time in my life that I've taken a bottle from somebody. Gentleman passed the bottle to me and said, we're going to toast this person, right? And it's the same person, by the way, that I saw do the All in the Same Gang verse. So I take the drink.
And it's Hennessy.
It's something sweet. So it may be Hennessy, but there's a bottle passed around.
Just blaming on Hennessy, not on alcohol, period. Right. But continue.
The person who passed me the bottle was Shock G.
Rest in peace.
The person that I was toasting was Tupac.
Wow,
and that's probably 20 years ago, and that's the last drink that I've taken.
So your last drink you ever had is with Shock G and Tupac? God damn it. That's kind of like a legendary drink.
A proper drink.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's a personal choice. First it was health, then a personal choice. And now, I'm not going to start drinking now if, I put it in that perspective.
Right.
You know what I mean? And once again, my heart hurts, man. Knowing Tupac, I knew Tupac as a member of Digital. So Eli and Money B and, I knew him as a member there. He had told an interesting story, and because Tupac would, after his passing, he would come back to me. I was performing a newer record at an elementary school, and some kids had come up to me, and they said, we saw Tupac, and we asked him about this new fast style of rhyming that we're hearing all over the radio. And he said, it's cool. I like these artists. I like, those people. But Young MC created that style. Wow. And these are little kids coming and telling me this. So I was like, wow, man. It's like, I didn't know, because I wasn't terribly close to him. We didn't hang out, but I would see him at the shows, like I'd see other people. He was always cool. It was always cool. But you knew that there was something there when he could break free. Shock was a great guy. Artistically, he was dominating. So there was a lot that other artists in Digital, may have wanted to do, but the vision of Shock kind of controlled Digital, and it was very successful.
Right.
So when Tupac went and did his thing, I was like, yo, I've never been in a group, but I can only imagine having stuff in me that I can't get out in this group that I can get out on my own. So my whole vision of Tupac was his ability to express himself, musically, politically, all those things, and to see that, come to fruition. From someone that I knew that was in the group.
Did you guys interact after he broke free from Digital, and how were those interactions?
I mean, when I saw him, it was cool. I think I'd seen him with Sugar a couple of times, and it was always cool. It was always love. I'm like Switzerland, dude. I just
you seem like Switzerland. Yes.
No, you
got no drama.
Well, no drama, and also my aggression is on the mic. So anybody can say whatever they want about me, but they'll never, at least honestly, question what I do on a microphone, even in my 50s. So that's always been my approach. I could have done something else. I have a college degree. I easily could have done something else, but I have not only a love for this, but I know I'm good at this. So one of the big things, when I first came out to LA, there were other guys that came from New York, and they get up on stage, yeah, New York this, New York that, and I'm thinking, these people are paying.
Right.
These people, you know, they want to big up their own place. This is before LA hip hop got really big. This is in the, you know, Toddy T, Ice-T, Bataram.
This when people go on stage and say it's Brooklyn in the house and everybody go crazy.
Yeah.
Like King T was probably around.
Yeah. So this is 87. Right. And my thing was these people accepted me. So I'm not going to go up here and say what my neighborhood's from. I'm not in my neighborhood right now. I'm in LA.
Right.
So part of the reason I think I got accepted for, you know, being part of All in the Same Gang, because they knew that if I was going to claim anywhere, I was going to claim LA.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even if I wasn't in the streets and wasn't doing any thug shit or whatever, I would. You know, if you said, just like you thought, I'm West Coast artist. People, I never get up and say, yo, I'm from the East Coast. It's not, I mean, I'll tell people what my background is, but I'm not going to bang the table and disrespect the place that's basically, you know, created my career.
Right.
If, like, once again, if I stayed in New York, you never would have heard of me. Just wouldn't have. You know how New York is.
Yes, I do.
The older dude, I would do block parties and I'd try and break into a new cadence and like, no, you don't rhyme like that. You got to rhyme just like this. It's like, come on, man. And I'm coming up at a time where you literally have all of hip hop. If you take a subway map and just extend the right side out to Long Island, every artist you know is on that subway map. That's how I grew up.
Was there anybody on Self-Destruction that wasn't from New York? I don't think so.
No.
Or from the tri-state area?
If they were, they didn't claim it.
But on Same Gang, you and Def Jeff that I could think of.
Yeah, Def Jeff's in New York, yeah.
Because he's not, he wasn't from LA.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't peep that neither.
But see, that to me, that's the brilliance of conception. And he was like, I want everybody on there. I want all these, you know, all these viewpoints, so that anybody who's listening who isn't familiar can have something to hold on to or something that they can identify with in terms of a path of looking at it. So I'm in front of the, you know, most lily white crowds in the last, you know, couple of years doing Same Gang, and I got to do Same Gang. And then I'll be some places and people pull me to the side. Yo, I'm glad you did that verse. We don't hear that record too often. So it's like, yeah.
Go ahead. And I was gonna say, did you ever feel, because it seemed like the era that you're coming out in, this is kind of like the beginning of what some people might say is the golden era. Late 80s going into the 90s, right?
I would say most people would say that's the
All right.
No, because some people put it more into the 90s.
I'm going to stop both of you right there.
Okay.
No offense.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
The golden era, what someone considers a golden era depends on where they're from.
True.
If you're in New York, your golden era starts earlier. If you're in the West, it starts a little later. If you're in the South, it starts even later than that.
I'm in the South.
Damn, I didn't be.
I'm in the South, but
you can't be in the South saying that your golden era started in 85. You can't.
No, not mine. For me.
No, not you personally. I'm just saying a person in the South is not going to say that their golden era started in 85, 86. Whereas if you're in New York and Run DMC is out, that could be part of your golden era.
That's part of your golden era. But if you're from the South, it's party starts with Uncle Luke, right?
But I mean, I don't think it should be regional. I think if you're talking about the consensus of hip hop, a lot of people put it like 88 to like 93, 94, something like that. If you're putting it within 10 years. I guess,
but it's influenced by regions. So you go earlier than 88 from East Coast. You go later than 93 from the South and from the West. That's my point, is that people throw around this term golden era, and that is a regional, I honestly think that's a regional distinction. That's not something you can say all of hip-hop, because all of hip-hop has been regional. It's becoming less regional now, but during then, no internet, it was regional.
Well, it depends, because you could have been only looking at hip-hop through the scope of what you got, which mainly was coming out of New York at the time.
Yeah.
So a regional artist outside of New York is not going to say, oh, you know, when Eric B. as president came out, that I consider that the golden era. No, what Eric B. as president influenced in that region, that's where their golden era starts.
Okay.
That's what I think.
That's a great point.
I think it could be debatable. I think
it can be debatable, but I can see where he's coming from.
I understand where you're but my point being is that, and again, this might be debatable as well, because I'm young at the time, but the perspective was that diehard hip hop heads looked at anybody that went commercially, you know, on the radio as like selling out. The Hammer thing. Did you get any of that backlash that Hammer got?
I got some of it. And to even go before, Tone came before me, and I remember people saying that Tone sounded like a broke Rakim. I remember that, and this is before.
Wow.
This is before.
That's crazy.
And that's my man, dude. That's like, but he's like blood to me. So I'm hearing that, and I'm like, but this is before he sells 4 million records. And
he wasn't broke after that 4 million.
Not only that, but I have a saying: usually people that talk shit ain't done shit.
I want to make some noise for that saying.
So,
power. Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff I would hear wouldn't be coming from artists.
Right.
Like there could be an artist whose music I don't like. I'm not going to say something to disrespect him because I know the struggle. So seeing someone sell as many records as Tone did, and seeing, you know, what other artists from other regions, when records were coming up after mine, I wasn't hating on it saying it wasn't me. I'm like, good for hip hop. The day after I won my Grammy, I wake up in the morning, I got to come down and do press. I'm literally still wearing a suit jacket. I come in front of this British reporter, I think she was of Indian descent, and she looks at me, she says, "Oh, I'm surprised you don't have your Grammy around your neck on a chain."
I love your impression, by the way.
Thank you.
He's not an impression. He's by way of London. Show love for Dreams. He's like you, by way of London, Jamaican as well.
That's why they keep calling you your cousin.
The island is so small, it could be. You know what I mean? But the thing is, I'm coming down and I'm trying to represent, and I get that. And this is me. I'm standing next to Bruce Hornsby. I'm standing next to all these other people, and they treat me as a peer, especially the people that know that I wrote for Tone.
Right.
They're like, "Yo, this is a real artist. This may be a different genre. He may not be singing, whatever, but he's selling real records, and this is real stuff." So it's like more media and more, you know, hoopla in terms of the stuff that you get backlash from. I didn't really pay it any mind. You know what I mean? Because once again, it's, especially now with social media, it's ridiculous. You can just sit Cheetos, mom's basement, type, and you're supposed to be on the same platform as someone's out there doing stuff.
Right.
Come on, man.